Alright, what's going on, everybody? Just wanted to check in, see how everyone is holding up 2 days after, and this is on a Tuesday actually, so that's ironic. 2 days after the Indy Road Course Cup race. A lot of people with strong opinions about course cutting, what's a penalty, what isn't a penalty, if we should even run the road course, should we go back to the oval? Because this is all a headache for some people, and one of them involved, Bubba Wallace, another Chase Briscoe. Both of them were in the same incident, but they're referring to Briscoe's incident last year compared to Bubba's incident this year. And then Ross Chastain and why his was deemed a penalty. But this is mainly about the difference in Bubba Wallace getting a penalty from last year and Briscoe getting a penalty last year versus Bubba not getting a penalty this year and Chastain getting a penalty this year. So there's a difference between all of those, and for some reason, when I made a community post, people thought I was referring to someone. I did not know who that person was. I was like, what are they talking about? What is that? Like, I don't know. I didn't know who they were talking about. I kept seeing the name. I'm like, what are they referring to? Then I actually looked it up. I'm like, oh, well, I can see why people are like, yeah, take that, dude. Yeah, finally standing up to some people. Yeah, I didn't even know who this guy was, but yeah, he's stupid. So we're going to go ahead and take a deeper dive into it, kind of like a breakdown, if you like the John Boy videos where he breaks down certain things that happen in baseball. I guess you could say this is kind of what it is, so we'll just call this like a breakdown of what was considered a penalty and what wasn't considered a penalty from last year's Brickyard and this year's Brickyard on the road course. So we're going to go ahead and look at the first incident, which was last year's Brickyard. And no, this is not the Briscoe incident. This is actually the Bubba Wallace incident, because Bubba got a penalty for going off course in last year's race. Oh my god, what? He got penalized? No way. Some people are oblivious to the fact that that actually happened because, it's Bubba. So we're going to go ahead and look at this right here. So this is after the curb incident, which half the field got destroyed. We're just going to let this play out and see what happens here. So you can see Bubba goes off the track, McDowell's in the air, and then they start crashing all over the place behind him. So now we're going to take a deeper dive. It's not so much the crash, it's just Bubba. So here, we'll keep an eye on this right here. So this is Hamlin, Briscoe, Allmendinger, Debacle, Blaney. This is the top 5. Played a little more as they start to get single file up. So then you got 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. McDowell's back there in 10th. So this is really 11th, 12th, and 13th. And I'm going to back it up a little more. So we can see. Pay attention to Alex Bowman here. Okay? Pay attention to Alex Bowman. So he's still down there. There's Custer. There's Bubba. Gonna play this. I'm actually gonna mute this. Gonna play this a little more. I gotta do this because I'm doing this all in one take. So we're just gonna go there, do it in super slow-mo. So Bowman is essentially going to make it 3 wide, heading into this tight part of the track. And this is a part where they remove the curb, but no one wants to hit this curb. So we're just going to play this in slow-mo here. So there's Bowman, there's Custer, and there's Bubba. So Bowman, instead of backing off, because really, it's just, you can kind of fit side by side through here, but with the curbing removed, no one wants to hit this curb. So Bowman keeps it down. He keeps it down. He forces his way underneath Custer. And then that forces Custer going to have to enter side by side. Bubba is on the outside of this. So he's basically 3 wide going into this section where you can barely fit 2 wide, let alone 3 wide. So Bubba sees this curb coming. So he dodges this. And again, I'm going to point out where this is on the racetrack. So you got the top 5 right here. Got 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. McDowell is 10th. So McDowell is this car right here. They're 3 wide. So this is 11th, 12th, 13th. So basically, let's just say Bubba entered 12th. Say that Bowman had the advantage. All right, so they're going through here. McDowell's going to clip this, but Bubba is going to completely avoid this. And the 2 cars that he was side by side with, you're going to see as he's going through the grass, he's going to come out in front of Custer. He's going to come out in front of Custer. Bowman's going to be here, but Custer's going to get caught up in the wreck. Now, was this an advantage for Bubba? I mean, kind of. I mean, he missed going 3 wide through that part, which McDowell hit. Bowman avoids it. Bubba drives like right through that. I don't know how. I didn't even notice that. I don't even know how he did it. But Custer got caught up in the wreck. So NASCAR deemed that this was cutting the track. And it was. He cut the track. He didn't have any contact. That's the one thing. He didn't have any contact that forced himself to go off the track. Going to play this again. See, there's no contact made between him and Custer. There's some contact there between Bowman and Custer. Still no contact, and you could see that there's plenty of room there. So Bubba chose to drive off the track, and that's why he got the penalty. He chose to drive off the track, cut the corner, and I mean, to be fair, he did that at the right time because, I mean, McDowell just completely destroyed that, and it destroyed his car. So he spins, Custer gets collected, Bowman and Bubba scoot on by, but Bubba is given a penalty, and we'll see this here because on the left side of the screen, he's not even in the top 20. They gave him the penalty, so he's not even up here, which we're going to transition now into the second incident in which people say, oh, well, Briscoe did that, and he got penalized. Bubba did that, and he didn't get penalized. Why is that? It's, you know who it is. It's the ignorant people. So we're going to go ahead and, I'm going to mute this also. We're going to take a dive into turn 1. Going to play this at full speed, in which the 11 goes wide. Now, live, it seems like he forced Briscoe off, although we'll take a look at it again. There's really not much contact there. And that's a key word, contact, because if he had contact, then Briscoe would be okay with cutting that corner because he had forcible contact that forced him off the track. So we're going to play this in slow-mo here. You can see they're all spread out. Briscoe trying to outbrake Denny. But keep an eye on the 16 here. He's actually going to bump into the 11. Give him that bump right there. And look, there's still no contact between the 11 and the 14. 11 goes wide. 14 goes wide because of that. There's still no contact. And Briscoe realizes that he's run out of racetrack. So he realizes he's run out of racetrack. And instead of going in the grass, he's going to drive off into the grass and essentially cut this corner. Play it again. There's a bump here from Allmendinger into Hamlin. Now notice how there's no contact from Debacle to Briscoe, which that's what some people were saying, which that's not true. These two never made contact. So Allmendinger gets into Hamlin, which forces Hamlin to go wide. Debacle and Briscoe, keep an eye. No contact, no forcible contact. Briscoe just makes a hard left to essentially cut this corner. You can see it again. There's still no contact. Briscoe realizes he's running out of track. And instead of running on the rumble strip and part of the grass, he's just going to cut the turn completely. And this is another angle for those that are saying that Briscoe got bumped by Debacle in the 21. We're going to play at full speed, and then we're going to slow it down. And there's actually the bump. You can actually see the bump that Allmendinger gives to Hamlin. Right there. Now, it looked close, but there was zero contact made between the 21 and the 14. No, that's not the right one that I want. All right, so we're going to, again, slow this down. Here's the 16. You can see him giving the bump to Hamlin. Right there. Now keep an eye on the 21 and the 14. Still no contact. Still no contact. It's close. It's close, but he stops. Debacle stops. Right there. That's as close as they got. Zero contact made between the 21 and the 14. There's still no contact, and then the 14 just goes off on his own. Now, fast forward to this year. And before this even goes out, I just want to point out that Joey Logano really decided to make it 5 wide going into this turn. You can do 2 wide, you can do 3 wide. Now there's a lot of contact going on here, and then going to be here 5 wide. Like, what are you doing, Logano? Like, no one's clowning on him for that. If that were Bubba, then you know what the results would be. So I'm gonna go ahead and back this up. Gonna play this in regular speed. So there's Bubba on the outside right there. And then there's the contact made between Briscoe and Bubba. So we're going to, again, play this in slow motion. I just want to point out that, once again, Bubba is behind the 5 wide move. So Logano, he's coming in too hot. So he made it 5 wide to avoid hitting the back of Truex. So they are literally 5 wide in front of him. There's contact all over the place. So here's Kyle Busch, here's Briscoe, here's Bubba. These 3 are going to get together. So there's contact right here, and yeah, Logano, not smart. But Kyle Busch is going to come down on Briscoe. Now they are literally 4 wide right here. Bubba on the outside of that, so he's really got nowhere else to go. There's really nothing else he can do. I mean, he's literally on the outside, and Logano just made it 5 wide. So he's pinching everybody from down here to move up, including the 3, the 14, and the 23. But Briscoe's going to get into Kyle here, spin him out. Really not a whole lot these guys can do. And now, because Bubba entered on the outside, he's really got nowhere else to go. So he's trying to avoid it, 14's going to try and avoid the 18 because, as we see, they make contact here. And what's Briscoe going to do? He can't stop. He's got a car right behind him. He's just going to get rear-ended. He's got cars all over. Bubba could have gotten into him. Ty Gibbs could have gotten into him. But Harrison Burton's right there. So he can't just stop and then go left. Or actually right in this situation. He can't turn right. So going to keep going. And Briscoe, yeah, he can't go anywhere. So he's going to go left to avoid it. He's going to go left to avoid it. But Bubba's on the outside. All right, Bubba is right here on the outside. He's literally got nowhere else to go. So these 2 are going to make contact right there. They make contact. The 18 is spun around. The 14 is trying to avoid him going left. But Bubba, you see, he's trying to make the corner. He's still trying to make the corner. Let's get that off. He's trying to make the corner. He's not completely... If he just drove straight off like right there, then yes, that would be corner cutting. But he's still trying to make the corner. The 14 goes left into Bubba, and now that forced Bubba's direction to change to just go across the grass. Once again, Bubba had nowhere to go. I mean, literally, this is him, this is Briscoe. Briscoe, he could have backed off even more. But really, this is all Logano's fault for making it 5 wide because this is what led to it. So again, Logano makes a 5 wide, pinching the 19 into the 3, into the 14. Now that's going to get him into the 18, going to spin him around. And the 14 is going to keep going because he can't stop. He's got the 21 behind him. Bubba is on the outside of this, trying to avoid everything. 14 is going to move left, trying to avoid the 18. They're going to make contact right here. 23, direction completely changes into him now having to go through the grass. 14 spins out, 18 spins out. So that's that in that situation. Now, we'll go over to the overtime finish. Because this is another one where people are like, well, why did Chastain get penalized for this? So we're going to play this in full speed. So Chastain already made a move to the outside. So he's already committed to going on the outside. But Suarez also made the move to the inside of Blaney. So the one's already there. Suarez, Chastain's teammate, already there. So they're going to be 4 wide going into the turn. But Chastain, he doesn't even try to make the corner here because he's just going to go flying off. Like he's slowing down, and then all of a sudden he's just, no, I'm going to hit the throttle. And you can see how he hit the throttle because it's not like he just let the car roll off into the runoff area. He hit the throttle. Look at how slow these guys are going. And then the one just going right by. And then keep an eye back here because Austin Dillon does the same thing. Like, he slows down, and he could have made the corner. He could have made the corner. He definitely could have made the corner. But he decided to not do that. Why? I don't know. But he's already back there. That's Austin Dillon right there. He sees what the one has done. He sees that the one is all the way up here, avoiding all the carnage. Now, Austin Dillon clearly could have made the corner. But he just decided not to. And there was plenty of room right there. He could have made it. And then there's a spin there. Then when all of a sudden, look, the one is right here. The three, look at how far back he was. He was all the way back here. Go up 2 frames, and he's already right here. Essentially going to be in the top 5. Like, look, that is blatant. It's a blatant shortcut there from the 3. Now, granted, there was a spin, but still. He gained, the 3 gained such an advantage from that. He's back here, then all of a sudden, he's 5th. And Chastain also gained an advantage from that because, like we saw, he went into the turn, look, slowing, and then just gasses it. Gasses it right there. Now this angle, I'll mute this, but this is another one. Another angle, it's the aerial view. Look, he just floors it. Does he avoid the carnage? Yes, but he didn't attempt to make the corner. That's the problem. And neither did the 3. Both of these guys didn't attempt to make the corner. It's not like, oh, I lost brakes and overdrove it. No. You can see the one braking. He's braking right here. And then all of a sudden, he's just going to hit the gas and drive off. And like I said, Austin Dillon saw that. And now he's positioned himself to go around Joey Hand. And then this right here is the most incriminating angle. Like, look at how fast he's going through that part compared to everyone else. Now, I know it's in slow motion, but still. Like look, he just comes out of nowhere, and then it's just surprise to Tyler Reddick. And then you'll see the 3 right down here also. It's just going to come out and rejoin the racetrack inside the top 5 or top 10. So, after all that, that is why Bubba got a penalty last year. He drove off on his own. Briscoe got a penalty last year. He drove off on his own. Neither of them had contact that forced them off the track. And then this year, Bubba Wallace didn't get a penalty because he had contact that forced him off the track. And Chastain and Austin Dillon both got penalties because they did not attempt to make the corner. And they took essentially a shortcut or a joker lap or whatever you want to call it. And that's why that happened. From last year's Brickyard to this year's Brickyard. If this made any sense, drop a like. If it didn't make any sense, drop a like, because I don't know what else I can do for you. I braked it down. I slowed it down. It couldn't have been any more obvious that there was sufficient evidence for all the cases. So, leave a like, subscribe, and who knows, maybe I'll do more of these. Until then, see you guys later.